Hi, this is Lindsay with Yoga Bliss, and today we are going to do a little bit of a different class. We're going to work on the hips and the core a little bit. So I invite you to come along and sit down on your mat and just start to relax and center the breath. So we want to inflate the belly, with the in-breath, the inhale. So as we inhale, we want to expand the belly like a balloon. We also want to bring the attention to the lower part of the ribs and really try to create as much space in the lower part of the ribs as possible. So as you inhale, you can close the eyes. Slowly exhale. Just being mindful of the shoulders as well, that the shoulders aren't creeping up towards the ears. We want to keep the shoulders down. Keep the neck long. And drop that breath deep into the belly, deep into the bottom of the rib cage. And just start to lengthen your breath. And by that, I mean maybe you in your head, you do like a little 3-count breath. So inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. If that doesn't work for you, then just start to lengthen the breath and always make sure that if the heart rate starts to increase when we're doing any breath work, that you just return the breath to normal, just naturally flowing it in and out of the body. So we're not controlling the breath if that heart rate starts to creep up at all. A couple more deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Start to slow the mind. So we're focusing on the breath and not everything else that's going on in our world and in our life right now. And then on your next exhale, we're going to drop the chin down to the chest and try to roll the upper back as well. So as we drop the chin down, we're going to round the upper back, getting a deep stretch in the upper back and starting to move the spine. And then as we inhale, we want to lift the chin, but we don't want to throw the head all the way back and collapse the neck. We want to keep that neck long and lengthened. And as we exhale, drop the chin down to the chest again, rounding the upper back. Inhale, lift the chin, reaching up through the crown of the head. And you can keep the eyes closed or open with a soft gaze if you'd like. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chin. One more time, exhale. Inhale. And then we're going to come up into tabletop. So swing the legs around, coming up into tabletop here. And again, we want the wrists below the shoulders, fingers spread wide. And keep the hands about hip distance apart. And then the knees, the same thing. We want the knees to be under the hips and about hip distance apart as well. And then the feet, the tops of the feet flat on the floor. So we're going to continue with that and just move down through the spine, do a few cat-cows. So as you exhale, really initiate the movement in the belly. So draw the belly button into the small of the back first. Then drop the crown of the head, drop the tailbone. As we inhale, lift through the crown of the head, lift the tailbone, let the belly sink down. Exhale, round. And really press up through the upper back as well. So we want to move that upper back in the spine as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the head, drop the tailbone, lift up through the belly. Inhale, lifting the crown of the head and the tailbone. Coming back to center. And then go ahead, press back into child's pose. So you can rest the forehead down on the mat if that works better for you. This can also be a more wide-legged child's pose with the knees wide, or the knees can be in closer together, whatever feels better for you. Generally, I keep mine kind of right in the middle, but it's all whatever feels best for you today. So just take a couple of deep breaths here. Extend the arms forward, getting a little stretch in the chest and on the outsides of the armpits, the outsides of the body. And then come back up into tabletop. So find your tabletop again, right here, and then lift the right leg. So we're going to imagine that we're pressing up with the sole of the foot. So the knee is gonna be about hip height. The foot's gonna be a little bit higher. So we don't want to come all the way up. Try not to keep the knee too far down. We want it to be just right about hip height. And the foot is flexed. And then we're just gonna start to make some small circles here. And this might seem a little awkward at first, so just take your time. Small circles, and then gradually getting these circles bigger. And then change the direction of the circles. So again, if this seems a little awkward at first, just take time with it. Do this a few times. You'll get the hang of it. And then bring that knee back to center and then lower the right knee down. Left knee comes up. Again, foot is flexed. Belly stays strong. So keep the belly, keep drawing that belly button into the small of the back here. And then we'll do a couple of circles. Again, you can start the circles small. Gradually getting the circles bigger. And then change direction. And it's okay if they're awkward. It's okay. You'll get the hang of it after practicing and doing it a few more times. Really opening up the hips here. And then lower the left leg. Right leg, we're going to this time extend the right leg straight back. So not higher than hip and not lower than the hip, right? Just level with the hip. The toes are going to point down. Keep the belly nice and strong here. From here, as you exhale, we're going to exhale and bring the knee up towards the chin or the nose. And then we're going to tuck the head down towards the chest. So here's what we're going to do. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring that knee in and tuck. Inhale, press back. Exhale, tuck. Inhale. Exhale. And really bring that knee up as high as you can. One more. Inhale, press back. And then lower that knee down. Left knee comes up. So hold this here. Move that leg around just a little bit. So you find your hip height. Keep the belly strong. Again, the belly button drawn into the small of the back, not rounded though. We want to keep everything nice and level here. Inhale, and as you exhale, tuck. Inhale, press back. Exhale, tuck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, one more. Exhale. Inhale, press back. And then lower that knee down. Now, we're going to build on this a little bit. So, right leg's going to come back. We're going to do that again on the 5th time that we tuck. We're going to bring that foot all the way through in between the hands. So we'll tuck through that. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, exhale, tuck. Inhale, one more. Exhale. Inhale. This is the one that's going to step through. So as we step through on the exhale, it doesn't matter if the toe comes right to the knee or all the way through. If it doesn't make it up in between the hands, grab a hold behind the ankle and the heel and just help it out along the way. So when we're here, just look down, look straight down, and make sure that the knee is over the ankle and that we don't have this foot too far back, that the knee is over the toes. So we want to be mindful of our knees and keep them safe, and then check and make sure that this front foot, this right foot, isn't directly in front of the left knee. So we don't want to be almost crossing here. We still want to be about hip distance apart here. So from here, we're going to sink the hips down. And also one more thing, if the hands don't reach the mat, it's what we have props for. So if you don't have, so this is a block. This is a yoga block. This one's cork. This one's foam. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to have yoga blocks. If you have, you can use soup cans. It doesn't make any difference what you use, just something to get the hands up if the hips and hamstrings are tight. So there's 3 different heights. This is the tallest, and then we drop down to here, and then we drop them flat if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, again, phone books, soup cans, whatever you want to use, you can use them. So from here, we're going to drop the hips forward. And as we press back, we want to get into that hamstring a little bit. You might find that just pressing back to here is enough for you. That's fine. As long as you can feel the stretch in the hamstring, that's all we care about. Also, one more thing. If the back knee is bothering you, place a towel, like a folded towel, under that knee, just to give it a little bit more padding and support. So from here, rock the hips forward on your inhale. Exhale, press back. If you can get into this hamstring, start to lift the toes. It doesn't have to straighten out all the way. This leg can be bent as long as you feel the stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale a couple of times here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rock forward. And then just move the blocks off to the side, or soup cans, whatever you have. Draw this front foot back. Keep the knees down, press back, child's pose. One full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come up. Left leg extends back. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Firm that belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to step through. As you exhale, bring that knee back up towards the chin and step your foot through. What we want to avoid is the big swing out. So try to avoid the big swing out. Bring the knee up into the chest. Again, if it doesn't go much past the knee, that's fine. Grab a hold behind the ankle. Help that foot forward. Make sure again that we're still about hip distance apart here. Handy dandy blocks. Grab your blocks, whatever height you want them at. Inhale. Rock the hips forward. You might need to wiggle that toe or the foot forward just a little bit. Exhale, press back. Lift the toes if you can. Again, if that isn't possible, maybe just shifting the hips back just slightly and you feel that stretch in the hamstring, that's as far as you want to go. Stay there. Inhale, Exhale, press back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is a bird that is happy, happy outside. Come back. Move the blocks out of the way. Draw that knee back. Press back, child's pose. Come back up. Keep those blocks handy. So this time we're just going to do 2 of the tucks. So right leg stretches straight back. Toes point down to the ground. Inhale, exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. As you exhale, step the foot through. Help it out if you want. Wiggle the foot forward, again, making sure that the knee is over the ankle. And then this time, we're going to tuck the toes, tuck the back toes of the left foot. And then, if this works for you, lift the back knee. Just lift the knee, keeping the hands down. You can also have the hands on blocks here. We're still trying to lengthen through the crown of the head here. Lower that leg down. Bring the hands up overhead, keeping that back toe tucked. Now, here's your challenge. If you would like, if it works for you, you can lift the back knee. Still staying low in your lunge if you can. If you need to, you can always come up. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Bring the hands back down. And this time, just back into tabletop. Left leg, straight back. Exhale into your tuck 2 times. So exhale, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck. And step through. So from here, if bringing the back knee doesn't work for you, bring the blocks back and just work on what we just previously did. Just stretching the hamstring out and moving through the hips just a little bit more. If it works for you, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Bring that back knee down. Hands come up overhead. Lift the back knee again if this works for you. Keeping the core nice and strong here. Reaching up through the crown of the head, keeping that lunge low. Inhale, exhale, drop the knee, drop the hands. You can move the blocks out of the way. Inhale, exhale. Now press back into child's pose. We're going to build on that just a little bit. This time we're just going to extend. Exhale, step that foot through this time. Help it out, wiggle it forward. So if this works for you, tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Then bring the arms up, stay low. Exhale, one hand on either side of the front foot. Draw the front foot back to plank. If this is too much for you, go back to what works for you and stay with what works. So elbows have a teeny tiny slight bend here. We don't want to lock those elbows out. Draw the belly into the small of the back. Fingers are spread wide. Middle fingers pointing forward. One more full breath here. Inhale. Slowly exhale. Keep drawing that belly into the small of the back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. We don't want the shoulders to start creeping up towards the ears. We want the chest to stay open and long. Drop the knees. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Inhale, come up. Left leg presses straight back. Again, hip height, toes point down. Draw the belly button into the small of the back. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot through in between the hands. Drop the hips forward, making sure that the knee stays over the ankle. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, arms come up overhead. Keep lifting up through the belly here. Keep the lunge low if you can. You can always do this with the back knee down. If lifting the back knee isn't working for you today, just keep the back knee down. So from here, we would just come up here. So wherever you are, back knee lifted or not, your call. Exhale, one hand on either side of the front foot. Draw the front foot back to plank. If the knee's down, then the knee is going to be here. We're going to draw this back. And here is our modification for plank. So we're still in a straight line from head, shoulders, hips, and knees. Belly is pulled into the small of the back. Elbows still have a slight bend. So here's your modification for plank. Tuck toes, lift knees. There's your full plank. Watch the shoulders so they don't creep up to the ears. Keep broadening the back, keeping the chest open, shoulders down. Elbows have a slight bend. Drawing the belly into the small of the back. One more full breath. Tendency is to start breathing fast. See if you can stay in control of that breath. Slow inhales and exhales. Drop the knees. Press back. And take 2 to 3 full breaths, depending on however many you would like to take today. And then come back up. So we're going to do side plank. So we're going to start basic with step 1 and then work up from there. So what I always say is find your edge, find your limits, and then take a small step back. So we're always kind of playing with that edge. We don't want to go and cross over. Definitely don't do anything that's going to hurt yourself. Listen to your body, but play around with that. Find where you go today. Maybe today is different than tomorrow, different from next week, different from a month from now. But really listening to your body is the most important, staying connected with the breath. So from here, from tabletop, we're going to do the right side first. So bring the right hand directly underneath heart center. The right foot is going to turn back. And then we're going to stack the shoulders and then stack the hips. The inside of the left foot is going to be against your mat. Elbow of the right elbow has a teeny tiny slight bend. Again, so we're not locking everything out. So this might be as far as you go today. Right here with the hand on the hip and just working on keeping the right shoulder down and away from the ear. The head, watch the head so the head isn't cranking up or down. We just, again, natural extension of the spine. If then you want to take it further, you can lift the left arm looking up at the left hand. If you are ready to take it further, bring that top hand down. We're going to put all the weight on the left leg and extend the right leg under. So by that, we can stack the feet, one in front of the other. We still want to make sure that we have the hips stacked and the shoulders stacked. Then Last step, kind of, stack the feet. So right foot, the outside edge of the right foot, left foot stacks on top, hand comes up to the sky. There we are, side plank. Continue to breathe. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Wherever you are, come back into either your plank or a modified plank. Press back. So we're going to switch and do the opposite side, but I'm going to flip around to the other side of my mat so I don't have my back to you. So you stay right there, child's pose here. Come back up, and we're going to do the left side now. Create a good strong base with that base hand first, bringing it directly under heart center. Middle finger points forward, fingers are going to be spread wide. What we want to resist doing is crunching that hand up and gripping. So from here, the left foot turns back, straight back. So it's a little bit awkward with step number one. Then we're gonna start to stack the hips and the shoulders and the hips inside of the right foot is against the mat. So maybe we just stop here for today. Pay attention to the elbow of the base arm, that it's not locked. There is a teeny tiny slight bend. If you want to take this further, then we're going to bring all the weight onto this leg, draw the left foot out. And you can stack the feet one in front of the other and watch the hips so the hips aren't pressing back. So we're just stacking the shoulders and stacking the hips. Continue to breathe. Find your edge. If you come here and you hold for maybe a breath or two, then just come back down. Drop that left knee down. You can bring the arm, top arm up towards the sky. You can look at that top arm. If that's too much for your neck, you can look down. And then finally, we stack the feet. Lift the hips a little bit higher wherever you are. One more full breath. Inhale and exhale. And then come back. Plank. Here, elbows have a slight bend. Modified, the knees come down. Exhale, press back. Now this is your time to slow down just a bit. And then we're going to walk the hands to the right. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. If you would like, you can shift the hips just slightly to the left. If that's too much, then don't worry about it. Don't do it. Just move the hands. Back to center. And just for a moment, close the eyes and feel the difference from the outside of the right to the outside of the left. Just notice if there's any subtle changes, any differences. And then walk the hands to the left. You can shoot the hips just slightly to the right if that works for you. Again, it's a suggestion. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Maybe it will tomorrow, maybe it will next week. Might work then. And then come back to center. Come back up into tabletop. Swing the legs around. And then walk the hips down towards the bottom of the mat just a little bit slowly. We did work the abs and the core. So if rolling down slowly doesn't really work. It's okay, just try. 3 fingers can be behind the knees. If you want to challenge yourself, lift the feet off slightly, bring the hands forward. So let's do the modification first. 3 fingers, and then we slowly roll down onto our mat. If you want to challenge yourself, hands come up. From here, we can roll down. Look at all these modifications. Modifications are the best. Truly, I love them. Third option. Obviously, this is going to be the most challenging. Feet are up. We're balancing on the tailbone here. Exhale. Roll down. You can even extend the legs. Hover, and then bring the knees in. Drop the head down. Gently rock side to side. And then when the knees come to the right, just allow the knees to fall all the way to the right. You can extend the arms out from the shoulders. You can look in the opposite direction of the knee. So this time we'll be looking to the left. And then come back up, bring the knees back up to center. Gently rock side to side, allow the knees to fall open to the left. Extend the arms out from the shoulders. Look to the right this time. And you can gently close the eyes if that works for you. If not, just soften the face. One more full breath here. Bring the knees back up into the middle and extend the legs out into your Shavasana. So again, I'll guide you through a short Shavasana, but I encourage you to go ahead and pause once we get into Shavasana. Just pause this. Stay in Shavasana a little bit longer. Find a comfortable spot. Allow the feet to roll open, palms to roll up, all the muscles in the body completely relaxed. And then allow the mind to rest. So as thoughts come in, allow those thoughts to just slowly flow out or quickly flow out. That would be better. Inhale and exhale. As the mind starts to get a little distracted, just bring the focus back to the breath. Just watch the breath. Inhale, move in. Exhale, move out. Relaxing all the muscles in the face, the neck, shoulders, arms, upper back, lower back, belly, hips, legs down through the feet. Just being here for a couple of more deep breaths. And this truly is where the magic happens. This is where we create muscle memory. This is where we integrate it all. And that's why staying in Shavasana a little bit longer is so wonderful. When you're ready, start to incorporate small movement, bringing the attention back to your breath, back to your body, making just a couple of adjustments when you need. Maybe deepening the breath in the body. Sometimes moving isn't working for you today. Sometimes you want to just stay still for another moment. Hang there. Embrace it. If you're feeling a little bit sluggish and you know you need to move just to get going again, maybe bend the knees and just keep the eyes closed the whole time we're here. Maybe if it works, extend the arms up overhead. When you're ready, we're going to roll to our side. It doesn't matter what side. Just keep the knees bent. making a pillow for your head. Eyes are closed. Staying here for at least one full breath. Hopefully a little bit longer. And then with all of that peace and calmness that you created, gently come up to a comfortable seated position. And you can keep the eyes closed here or keep the eyes nice and soft. Lengthening through the spine, bringing the hands to heart center. And we'll do 3 full breaths together to end class today. Exhale completely. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. I hope you enjoyed class today. Thank you. Namaste.